Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Zombroz Podcast, episode 38. I'm your host, Patrick Smith.
Yes!
Okay,
and welcome
okay.
to the SmithSquad.
Wow.
The SmithSquad Podcast with your host, MC Sports Talk, episode number 88. I'm here with two of our lovely guests, Mr. Smith himself, and this goon over here. Look at this guy.
We got the merger going on this week. We got
That's
the
amazing.
Zombroz SmithSquad merger, and it is going to be lit.
Oh my god, this is fantastic. This isn't getting better. Combining two glorious podcasts into one amazing setting. We should get into some questions, shouldn't we? How about we talk about Zetsubou no Shima? Something came out recently about that, right? I mean, like,
Yeah, I
a
heard
trailer-
something about that. Isn't that, like, important or something?
Probably.
So what do you guys think of this? What do you think about the trailer that dropped and the map you've definitely not played by any chance by flying out to Treyarch? And you're not under NDAs, so what do you guys think?
Well, I'm not under any NDAs, so I can talk completely openly and freely, fortunately. It looks very well done. I think it's got a very interesting mixture of reminding me of Shinonuma and Shangri-La. Some of the movement methods of like the vent shafts and things like that reminds me of Shangri-La, and then we've got like a very like Shinonuma-ish sort of layout vibe. At least that's what I see from the trailer.
What about Shinonuma do you think is present in ZNS?
Just the swampiness.
Bah,
Swampiness.
The swampiness.
killing me. Oh my god.
All right.
Oh,
All right. He
I
says.
take that.
some of the sounds, even in the trailer, the sounds resemble a lot of what we've heard in Shinonuma. And even, I don't know, I'd love it if they had a hint or a callback, because when Zetsubou no Shima, the title card comes up at like 37, 38 seconds in that trailer, you hear the classic Sam laugh. You hear that big, like, ominous laugh. I hope they start playing with that. It might come into some explanation of, like, who's in control, because that's a question we've really started to ask at this point. It's like, who's in control of all the zombies? What's actually going on? And this map is just glorious. The atmosphere, like you said, oh my god, it looks like a dream come true. That Shangri-La Shinonuma blend, and I still get that feel of Origins though. I'm still feeling like the Trials of Origins, like even with those pillars we saw with the Apothecarian language or the Keeper language, which I think is Keepers. People keep correcting me, but that has me fascinated because it seems just like Origins in that sense. Or we got it in other maps, but it had a big callback to the staff puzzles to me when seeing that in the trailer.
Yeah, I never thought about that, but that's an interesting idea. Damn. Yeah. That was really the only sort of I shouldn't say the only significant thing, but that really stood out as like an Easter eggy thing in the trailer.
Yeah.
What about that pufferfish thing everyone was talking about?
Yeah. Ask you guys about that. What do you think that is? What might that be?
I like the idea of this whole thing of being either part of a part. It is a new power-up similar to the Fuse, something to help you breathe underwater a little longer. Or if it's an entirely new drop, I don't think it's as likely. It's blue, so I guess it could Death Machine. Blue helps. There's normally something to that. It's either a part or it's a weapon. So it's probably part of a weapon, I guess.
I'm leaning towards part. It looks like a drop.
Like a Ragnarok piece.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
That's where it's shaping
like
up.
the Margwahar or something, that kind of idea.
Yes.
Right. That's what
throwing pufferfishes at people, like.
Yeah.
Dude, it does look like a pufferfish. Everyone's like, "What are you talking about?" It looks like a pufferfish.
Dude, I first thing I thought was like, I don't know if you guys have these where you live, but like those spike balls that you throw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought first when I
that's
saw
what it looks like.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
A
awesome.
A little bit less spherical, more like a oval looking ball. But yeah, that's a good analogy right there.
It almost looks like a bag though too. That's what I was interested. It almost looks like it's weird if you could get like the full side of it, because we only get a little bit of it in the trailer. It seems like there's just a little more that just like it's weird. You're getting to that weird testing type stuff. Like speaking of testing, the jars. What about that with all those like test subjects inside? You can see like vines and stuff coming out of them.
Dude, it was so exo-zombie reminiscent. Like it reminded me of the Infected, and I was like, no, don't do it, I don't want to see that.
Right?
That would suck.
When I saw that, I was like, ugh. At first,
no.
like,
Do you guys think it was as scary, or it's going to be as scary as it's been hyped up to be? No.
I completely lost all faith in that after seeing the trailer. I'm like, no. This is a zombie map.
Interesting.
I think there's gonna be some more that we haven't been shown yet because
Yeah.
spiders would be scary if I didn't have
sound.
a shotgun. But you
Right.
give me a haymaker, I'm not too worried about the spiders.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested
What
to
about the
see
sound?
how powerful they are, how strong, how fast they are. There's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff we don't know about how those spiders work yet.
What do you think? Do you think it'd be round base, Pat? Do you think it's going to be like a dog round type thing, or they're going to mix it in with like they do with the wasps or whatever they're called?
Oh, the wasps, yeah.
Well, that's similar to the dog round. They come every once in a while.
Oh, that's
They
right.
dog round.
Because they started integrating that into Rise and Drock. That's right.
Yeah.
They didn't
I
do
think
that.
that's probably a good bet.
I think that's probably a good bet.
Yeah. Probably a pretty good bet.
Probably a good bet. Yeah, that's
Probably.
what I would. If I had to
Oh
take
my
a good good
Just
guess,
stab at it.
yeah, shot in the
So-
dark.
So if it's a round thing, then they couldn't really go crazy with the sound design because with dogs we have the fog rolling and you hear the dogs, you hear them growling and prowling around the map. So with these spiders, could you just imagine like the tapping and stuff going around the map?
Yeah,
You're
I like
And you're
that.
telling me it's not gonna be scary still.
Because
there's gonna
because
be
this is
some
what I think
atmosphere.
about. Like what we create in our heads is gonna be way scarier than what Treyarch can put on screen. So they can put these things just out of reach. Sound design is gonna be the end all for this map. If we hear crying and screams and just demented noises, we're like, the fuck was that? That is what will make the map scary. But I just don't see it happening with this.
That Shrek looking character, he looks interesting. I'm interested to see how he works. I'm calling it now. You shoot the 3 things across his body to kill him. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Oh, I worry about the center thing. I see the other eggs here, but
Yeah.
it almost like something comes out of the center. Almost like you ever play Star Fox
Ooh.
Adventures?
No.
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
But do you remember there's those like things in the walls? They were like plants and they come
Yeah.
out and grab you. That's exactly the feeling I was getting from that zombie. That you'll have one of those almost like Panzer Claw type deals happening with his
Ooh.
center,
Okay.
Oh, I like it.
but doesn't necessarily.
Possible.
You know,
Yeah, maybe.
It's a maybe for me.
Did you guys,
Like,
did you guys see? There was like a remake. I think it was on the zombie subreddit, and it was like Takio said, like, "We have come here to whatever," and then it's like, "Get out of my swamp,"
Yeah.
and it's Shrek, and then the somebody once told me that was so well done.
Yes.
I love it. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
I
for
love
stuff
all
like
the
that.
memes people are doing about it already with Shrek and Donkey and just everything.
Oh, I'm so excited. I mean,
No.
think about the fun commentaries you can have. You could have a get out of my swamp challenge, probably. I wonder how the water's gonna,
Swamp challenge.
you know?
Yeah. The
The
water.
water is a good
You think
point
it
to bring up.
floods? Yeah. Like, what do you think about that, Pat?
I hope it's not I hope it doesn't play a major role in the map. I just feel like maybe it's easy to go through it, but I just feel like it's gonna add a lot of. I just hate Matt smiling over here.
I'm just smiling. I don't know what you want me to say. I'm
Oh,
not
I
saying
just-
anything.
I'm sorry, but I'm just looking at Pat describing this, and then you see Matt's face just.
I'm
Just
I-
forcing
what
it
do you want
down,
me
it
to
just
do?
comes-
What do you want me
No.
to do? I'm just here. I'm chilling.
Okay, I think
Good.
that
I like these.
I think that they're taking a risk with throwing that into zombies. I think that, like I said, I don't want it to be a huge mechanic if it's difficult, if it's like completely just throwing you off. I mean, they did throw in wall running in Dreisendrach, and that, like, I love that. That is so much fun to do.
Yes.
But
So,
go ahead.
have you played multiplayer much ever?
Very little. I'm like,
Have you
level
swim
40.
underwater multiplayer?
Yeah.
What would you think if that was how it was in zombies?
That'd be awesome. I mean, even the
Mm.
drown time is pretty quick, but it's not too bad. I think it'd be fair. I think if there's Pack-a-Punch underneath in that water area, that's going to cause some issues with drowning. And I think that'd be why you need a perk on the map to try and counterbalance this drowning thing. Because you have maybe 10, 15 seconds underneath water. Pack-a-Punch is 5 seconds. So get under there. You saw zombies spawning in. Pack-a-Punch. Get out before you drowned. Maybe Jug could extend that if they played around with it. I don't know yet. But
That's a very interesting idea. I never thought about that, but you have to get, instead of like doing stuff for Pack-a-Punch, you just have to get a piece that'll allow you to breathe underwater.
yeah, something like that.
That's a really
Yeah.
neat idea. What if there was just a perk that like made you a faster swimmer, more breath, maybe allowed you to maneuver easy.
Superhuman.
Well, you know what? Isn't there a gobble
Yeah.
gum? You know, the thing that makes you do everything faster? Because I mean, that's already in the game. What always done?
Mental accomplishment, I think.
Is that because?
Yeah, like you throw things faster and like.
Yeah, you buy
drink
things faster. And Pack a Punch is like that. It's so quick.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
you do the like
interesting.
instead of the knuckles where you're like, it's just like really quick. The animation is sped up like plus half time. So
That says it makes you reload faster, but I do not believe that for a second.
no, I don't even. I
I don't know.
The faster reload attachment is taking that up in speed.
Yeah,
cola.
Yeah.
that'll be just fine.
Yeah.
That, you don't
Yeah.
even need speed cola anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we feel about these spiders? Let's be real here. What is the deep feelings about these spiders?
I am very excited for the spiders. I think that I do not have like an irrational fear of spiders. I don't like spiders, but it's not something that like is gonna. I mean, I hope it's scary. I really do hope they're scary, and like I get freaked out, and I can already imagine. Me and Lex are doing our first run through together. I can already imagine where that's gonna go. But I'm excited. I'm excited to get scared and nervous. But no, I like spiders. I think it's a good introduction to zombies.
How about you, Matt?
Yeah, I'm excited for them. I mean, they're different, you know. They're creepy. I don't like spiders, so I'll be scared.
Nice.
I'm interested to see what they do with the spiders as far as rounds progress, if they get tougher or if they're just like dogs and they're always the same. You never know.
Spider
we'll see.
boss for the Easter egg.
Are you already calling that?
It's gotta
That-
happen, dude.
I can see that happening.
Dude, it's gotta happen. Okay, like I don't know. It just makes a lot of
It's so
sense to me.
predictable.
Like all the
It's
spiders
so
combine into one massive spider, and it's
Oh,
Okay,
no.
that'd be
Oh,
lame. That'd be lame.
Jay.
kill
no,
the
but-
big spider.
Okay, we've got all these spiders running around that are super big. Something had to lay those.
Or 115
So,
testing
like
just
a
made all the
mama
tiny
spider?
spiders big.
That's
Like,
true
you
too.
could
That's true too.
Defeat mama spider.
Just gotta ruin things, Reed. You
Or
know?
maybe a volcano monster.
Ooh. I would be fine with some plant thing. It's got to be some plant crazy
Oh,
mutation,
That's true too.
like some
that's true.
atrocity. That'd be. What if a keeper's infused with a plant and they do something weird like that? They could
Be
play around with
interesting.
that.
Could-
I don't know if I want a repeat of keepers though. Like,
Yeah.
we.
Do you guys think we'll see the keepers again in this map?
Oh, of course. These guys
yeah,
aren't
the
going
language is on the map, so
Mm-hmm.
Be sneaking around. More keeper ghosts for sure. Call them
Sneaking
keeper
around.
ghosts.
keeper ghosts.
Keep it around.
Maybe they're whispering to you, just like the last one was in the pot or whatever it was, the urn jar, just telling you to release him. We're gonna have another one, just being like, you know,
Hey.
maybe he's in one of the Vita chambers or whatever those.
Skag.
on,
Hard.
on the notion of Easter egg,
Mm-hmm.
how long? Like, place your bets. All right, how long do you think it's gonna take for this Easter egg to get solved?
To be solved?
Yeah.
Thursday. I want Thursday.
So
You're
20, 40,
crazy.
48 hours.
I'm MIA Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I have a commitment I cannot get out of.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go
Thursday.
That must be a big commitment.
It is, and I am just so upset.
I'm gonna go with 1 week. The next Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think this is gonna take a little time. You guys are both like,
Wow. That's a big. That is a.
well,
big,
how long did the last one take? 3 days? It was 3 days, right?
yeah.
It's actually less than 3 days. It was like 40
3 or 4
something
days?
hours. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was
It was
at
three-
night. Oh, and it dropped in the morning, so
Uh,
it would have been. Yeah. It was.
It's
Yeah,
just
Friday
over.
night.
It's like 55 hours. It was like 55, 60 hours.
Thursday or Friday or something, right?
I think
It was Thursday.
Oh,
It was Thursday.
Thursday night then.
Yeah. It was
So,
definitely Thursday. We did it Thursday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and then tonight. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow.
From
Okay.
the
Matt's
week.
throwing out some.
Yeah. So it wasn't
Some
even 72
numbers.
hour cycle.
Well,
Matt's
Shadows of
like-
Evil was like almost 2 weeks, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It was like. 10
It was
days, I
definitely a
think.
while.
It was a
Maybe
long
2 weeks,
time.
maybe not. Maybe
I don't think 2 weeks, but it
No.
was. It took so
It was a
It was
week.
long.
over a
It was a
week
week.
for
it was a
sure.
week.
It took so long that I had to jump in and try to attempt.
Yeah. No, I'm
things.
pretty sure it was over a week for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
a
definitely-
while.
It wasn't too, because again, many people had the game, pre-release, so that was that big head start. So when it
Oh,
released on November, what was it, 9th this
Sixth.
year?
Sixth.
6th. Nova. There you go. When it came out the 6th, I think it was at least a week from the 6th that the Easter egg. You know, fuck it, I'll look it up.
We
You
can
guys
look,
keep
we can
talking.
look it up, yeah, and figure out what it is.
Yeah.
What do you think, Pat?
All right. Based off your guess, I'm going to say it's always got to be at night. No one ever solves them in the morning. It's just, I don't know why, but it's like seems like everyone always solves them towards the night. I'm gonna say Saturday afternoon.
Okay.
November 11th, it
Good
was
guess.
solved.
Oh, 5 days.
So 5 days.
That's a long time though.
It
Really?
still is.
All right, then maybe I
Because then we
changed.
also
I
had,
thought it was longer than that.
Then think about it. We also had like 4 days beforehand. Certain people had
Yeah,
it
because
4 days before.
everyone already knew how to upgrade the swords,
Yes.
which is like
True.
a pretty big step.
Yeah.
That's everything. That's the biggest steps besides then Shadow Man and
Yeah.
then you
And
have to
then-
shock the rails. And
And then it took like 5 days to figure out how to shock the rails. And considering that was a very basic Easter egg, like when you go back and do that, it's like, wait, that's it? Like,
right.
just a few steps?
It's nothing. Have you ever
Yeah.
tried upgrading swords at a high round? It is the
No.
easiest thing ever. It was round 23, and I got the egg. The round was even halfway over, and I got all the eggs done, got my sword, and finished the first step of the upgrade process. I was like, whoa, this is so much better than like every time we're used to it. It's this grind fest of like, nobody touch anything, keep the zombie. We got to make
Yeah.
sure we have 5 zombies specifically for each person. It's just like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
When you're doing anything and you're trying to do that in an early round, like even on Jurassic Dark with those bows, it's such a hassle. So much
God.
coordination.
I just don't see the fun in that. But you bring up a great point with bows. One of our questions here is, do you think we'll have a return of 4-player wonder weapons? Do you think we're going to get our bows or like staffs? So that's what I mean by 4-player wonder weapons. You think that's going to return, or is it going to be like box weapons?
In
Zetsubou no Shima.
Zetsubou no Shima,
Yeah.
I think there's going to be 2 wonder weapons.
Ooh, 2. Ooh, that's a good fight.
I'm just looking at
2
Matt's
wonder
face.
weapons.
Yeah.
Divide the team.
Can you explain
Yeah.
that a little further?
I don't want to get into it too much, but there was a leak.
Oh,
That
well,
was
fuck's sake.
no. It did not say that there was 2 wonder weapons, but there was a leak in the code that kind of revealed one of the wonder.
Oh, yeah,
weapons.
actually, I do remember that, yes.
Relating to skulls is all I'll say. And I think there's gonna be something else. I don't know why. It's just a feeling I have.
That's an educated guess.
Kind of,
Yes.
but not overly. Not as much as it might sound like.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know how much I want to talk about that leak. I talked about it on my channel, but
Yeah.
I don't know if
All
you
right,
guys
well,
saw that.
It's interesting because do you prefer these 4-player wonder weapons per map, or do you like having just one, like a Wonder Waffa, or do you think having all the staffs is really cool?
I think it's
I
good
like
to have
the-
more.
Yeah,
go ahead,
I like
Mike,
the
go
idea of everyone having their own wonder weapon. Because when you have just one, like the one on Shadows of Evil, I can't even name it.
Yeah, the
Escaping
Mars
me.
Agua.
Yeah, there you go.
Mhm.
It's like, I mean, you could. There's one point where you could all get them, but having one person with it's like, I don't know. It's always like a struggle. Who gets the wonder weapon? You know,
Right.
I want it, but I like to.
Who
I
has
like the
more
idea of having
subs?
4. Everyone got their own bow. You know, they have their own thing to them. So I think it's gone much better. Those maps like Origins, and with the
Mhm.
bows and Rise and Jog, I think they're going to keep that trend going, and I think we'll all have some type of wonder weapon. Maybe not elemental this time, or having to do with each their own thing, but I think we'll all get something this time.
Well, I think that's a great point you bring up too, that they don't have a repeat of the elements, because we don't want repeated wonder weapons. That's not
Right.
even the bows is a little bit of a repeat of the staffs, but they were smart at how they approached this, because we had lightning and wind being combined. We had the fire, but it wasn't like the magma we got before. We had this volcano thing happening. The void bow completely just out of left
That
field
was
there.
dope.
And then the soul bow or spirit bow, it was again different. It was cool. So they didn't just hammer us back with lightning, fire, wind, and ice. We got some flavor to it, and I think that's critical to wonder weapons. I mean, we're bored of the Wonder Waffa. No one even takes the Wonder Waffa. Granted, it had some nerfs in the giant, but who wants to use that weapon anymore? Like,
Yeah, right.
Can I make another prediction? This is just way out in left field.
go for it.
So the Wonder Waff sucks on the giant. I think it's kind of safe to say, compared to its
Yes. Yeah.
amazing version in Black Ops 1 and World at War, when it didn't take your jug, obviously. I think that we're going to get a gun similar to the Wonder Waff, but like it was originally. I think there's going to be some variation, some upgrade, something.
You think they're trying to bring it back and make it better, or
I think they made it bad on purpose.
so they can give us a better one later on?
Yeah.
That's not a bad play, to be honest with you. That would be something.
I'm just throwing out a whole bunch of guesses here, but like I don't know. I just
feel it inside you.
I don't think
I have a
that's all
hunch.
they're gonna do for the Wonder Waff.
See, I'm feeling a shotgun. I'm feeling a shotgun special Wonder Weapon this
Blundergat?
time. Yes, because we haven't got a Blundergat in a while. In this map, I have this image in my head of like the swamp, and then the gun, like the plants and overgrowth on it, like pulling it up out of like the bog or something like that. Similar to how the Blundergat was exploding with fire in Mob of the Dead. I see something like that in Shino Numa. And again, this is our of the Dead map, technically, in the cycles, even though they've thrown away that tradition. We still might see some kind of callbacks to that. And I'd love to see a presentation because this map is dying. Something's got to come out of the swamp here. Like, let's be real. Something has to come out of like the growth and the horrible plant mutations, or otherwise we didn't get our money's worth with this map. Like, let's be real.
I feel like a shotgun might be more suitable to Nikolai's map, if the next map is around Nikolai.
If it's Stalingrad, Nikolai's shotgun, definitely, especially because it's close quarters and the place is rubble. If it's Stalingrad, that still blows my mind because the place is rubble. There was nothing to Stalingrad at that point.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
But okay, I could see a shotgun. Matt, do you have anything? Any comments? Any gun? That you cannot spoil the world?
Yeah. There's gonna be a gun, probably. There might be some guns.
There's gonna
and
be
stuff.
a gun, probably.
You might see a gun or two in the map to kill the
HG40
zombies,
confirmed?
spiders.
Well, we know the HG40s.
I mean, there's some guns that are gonna be in there from the
HG40
trailer.
MX
But,
Grand. I'm really glad to see the MX Grand.
that's
yeah.
definitely-
It's a throwback. It's a throwback for sure.
I'm
Do you
excited
think
about
it's supply drop or just gonna be updated in the game mode?
I think it's just gonna be in
Gobblegum
the game
Factory?
mode. No,
Okay.
they can't do that. But
Yeah, I think
Going
going
back-
back in the trailer
because
is a dead sign that it's gonna be in the map.
yeah, going back to that notion of like the supply drop things,
Mhm.
this is going even further with that notion of the new Wonder Waff. What if they made or what if Activision made them make the Wonder Waff bad on purpose, so that they could release an upgraded, better Wonder Waff, so that you have to get it in supply drops?
Pat, what are you doing here?
I'm like
I think there's
aiming for Activision.
A bit of a stretch on that one.
Yeah.
They watch our stuff, Pat. All right. We don't have to go too far with this and be like, so we will pay for wonder weapons.
I don't think they
do.
Activision
Yeah,
limits Treyarch's creative ability. I think that Treyarch does what they want to do in their maps, and then legally Activision does what they have to do. But I think they give the full credit. I don't think they would do that.
That's a super big stretch, but I don't know. I'm throwing out
I
crazy.
see more or less
ideas
being
here.
included in DLCs. Like a Mark III is going to be included, like a Mark II was included, type of deal.
Yeah.
Dude, that Ray Gun Mark III, it's starting to get like DLC 5. Like everyone's just like, Ray Gun Mark III confirmed. It's like,
Dude,
really,
I
though?
want it to happen.
Everyone, yeah.
Just like Wonder Weapon upgrade, Matt.
Dude, it's a thing. It's just not in that map.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
What
not.
if it was in supply drops?
Maybe it's not a thing.
I want it to be in the giant. I want all this time to have secretly been the giant was the key to upgrading the Wonder Weapon in Shadows of Evil. Like if they save it to the last map, DLC 4, and it just like press this button to upgrade the other one, it's just like, oh my god, are you freaking kidding me?
No.
No, I definitely want it to be like it's been there the whole time.
See it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right. So, what do you think the big Easter egg is going to be? What do you think our big quest Easter egg? What the ending's going to be? Obviously, we're going to have a boss fight. Pat already called spider boss fight. So, what else? I want to know, Matt, your idea of a boss fight, and then what do you think the resolution of this map is going to be? Is it going to be as simple as killing Takio 1.0, moving on to the next map, or is there going to be twists? Is there going to be turns in the storyline? What do you guys think?
It's a loaded question, man. I don't know. I want to say that it's just going to be the same thing as Dempsey with Takio. But then I'm like, that's just too given to us on a silver platter. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't know what the result of the Easter egg will be, but I imagine, like Pat said, there will be another boss since we're going along with that theme now. The spider could be a good boss. The big monster ogre looking thing could be a boss. Call the Thrasher, by the way.
Oh, okay, that's good. Nice.
Or it could be the gatekeepers again.
I really don't want the gatekeepers. Oh, I don't
Yeah.
want the gatekeepers.
It could be them again.
That'd be lame.
It might be a little lame. I don't know. I really don't know with this map. I don't know. It's tough to say what the whole end all be all will be. You can never really predict these kind of things with Easter eggs, right? Because they're just so you really can't figure out much from the trailers.
Do you think the Emperor shows up at any point?
Fucking Emperor. Has the Emperor even related to this map, really?
I don't know. Could he show up?
Who is the Emperor? The Japanese
Yeah, I
Emperor?
just feel like just because he's Japanese, they're like, oh, Emperor, naturally. Like, he's Japanese, he'll be an Emperor here.
Well, the thing is, Richtofen and Takio, we have the letter to the Emperor. So Takio was a spy for the Emperor on Division 9 to check what they were doing in their research stuff. With that said, Takio on the previous map and Der Eisendrache was saying, when will I talk to the Emperor? You told me in the Giant, which Richtofen did, that you have talked to the Emperor. Okay, Takio. And he has a message for me. When can I talk to him? And Richtofen in Der Eisendrache is like, in time. Don't worry. Not yet. We have other things to deal with. Literally saying like, next DLC. All right, just wait there, Takio. So that's where I'm wondering, is it going to just be one of those things where at the end of the Easter egg, he's going to be like, there's your Emperor. And we're going to be like...
I don't think we'll see him. If we do get him at all, it'll be like a narrator type voice.
I think it'll be definitely like a Maxis type deal at best.
Yeah.
I could definitely see character dialogue being the epitome of that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. And it would be Hirohito at this point. It'd be Emperor Hirohito. So, I don't know if they'd really want to get that involved because they constantly rip... I guess there's not really any stigma to Emperor Hirohito. Not like the swastikas that they've completely taken out of zombies. Never, no Nazis and zombies. Never happened. No, get to.
I have a question. So,
I have an answer.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, with Der Eisendrache, we saw in the opening cutscene, Dempsey 1.0. We kind of knew what was going on there. With the Giant, we saw Richtofen 1.0. We knew what was going on there. There's been no sign of Takio 1.0 yet.
This guy.
Mm-hmm.
This guy through.
Yeah, I've done my research. What if Takio already knows that people are after him, that this other weird version of himself is after him, and he is like watching them or something, or he knows, and what if that is going to play into the Easter egg, like the final Easter egg, and maybe, I have no idea, but...
He's like, oh, this is so great. Great question.
This is so... He's getting me excited because all of a sudden in my head, I was just hearing, just like when we first played Der Eisendrache, where Groff comes over the speakers, and I was just like, playing the game. All I heard just now, loading up Zetsubou and Shima, is like round 5, just hearing Takio come over the announcements and being like, oh, just saying honor bullshit in his horribly stereotypical voice and being like, oh, he's gonna get us. Like, I can't wait. Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
Yeah,
that would be so awesome.
It would be.
Because I know it was in one of the pictures that was leaked right before the cinematic came out. There was like a picture of all 4 of them, like with the guys that had them like tied up and stuff. And in the background, there was like a soldier-looking guy that kind of like he had his hat, and like you just see the silhouette. Some people have speculated that was Takio 1.0. I don't know, but I think that this time when they go to kill him, it's not going to be as easy as just popping a cap in his face or something. I think there's going to be something there. I think that would be a smart turn to take as a storyline creator.
Absolutely. Now, what I am curious about is, do you think we have a chance of Nikolai showing up at this map, getting both of them and twisting both of us and being like, you thought you knew where DLC was going? Psh, you don't even have a clue. Take out the other 1.0s, and then we still have Maxis and Samantha's storyline to explore before we even figure out the Shadow Man and inside the summoning key. We haven't summoned anything, as Jason has said. Where is this all leading toward this big end with this Apothecan servant war coming up between the Keepers and Apothecans?
Yeah.
I mean, I really want a twist in this map. If we just kill Takio, I am going to be disappointed. And that's not cool. Like, I don't want to think.
That's a really big point to make. If Nikolai were to come in, that would completely exactly throw off. So what they've done is they've given you, here's Shadows of Evil, here's the Giant, here's Rise of Drac. Here's this straight line, and you can kind of see where it's going. Mm-hmm. That wouldn't be like Treyarch to say keep going, right? They would go, right. Whoa, let's go this way, right?
Right.
So that's a really good point, actually.
The only counter argument I've heard and from people is the idea that each character has to go through their own map. Each of them are going through their own thing, their own trials and tribulations. So we've seen this now with 3 characters. So Nikolai obviously needs to get his own map. But that doesn't mean we have to kill 1.0 Nikolai in the next map. So that's the only thing I would say to that argument, because it's a legitimate argument to have, to say, hey, every character's getting their own map. Treyarch's really pushing for this. I mean, he can still have his own map. Next map just might not be Nikolai. Dude, I miss Drunk Nikolai. Oh, I miss Drunk Nikolai.
I feel like if they do that with the third DLC being Nikolai, I feel like there's going to be a lot to cover in DLC 4. Almost too much. It's going to be really hard to fit everything into that last DLC.
That's supposed to be an ending.
There's going to be a DLC 5.
Boom. He's got it.
Boom!
Where's the MLG horns? Yes. That's exactly it. Oh my goodness. All right. What's your biggest worry for the map? Mine, again, is that ending won't surprise me. That I'm going to be very disappointed with how the Easter egg ends up after being blown away. How could they possibly top what they did in Dryzendrach? That's what I'm worried about with this map. And the size. A little bit with the size. What about you guys?
Size?
What do you mean by size there?
See, I'm worried that there's not enough levels, because I know in Dryzendrach wasn't a big map, but it had many layers and levels to it. You know, there you could go to the top of the towers and to the bottom into the under.
Okay.
Yeah, verticality. Thank you. So that worries me, because in this map I didn't see that much. I saw the pipelines that you shoot around the map, but that's just like a geyser, just getting you from one area to the next. Mm-hmm. It's not areas you're really exploring. But in the trailer, we didn't see the Undercroft. So I'm hoping there's a lot going on underneath the surface. And then with our buildings, our labs, 1 or 2 layers. We see at least 2 layers, maybe a third one. We saw a ladder that we're tough and might have climbed to get to the top there. So I'm hoping for that stuff, because that makes the map so much bigger. Yeah. But if you don't have, it's like...
You know what?
So would you prefer... Oh, go ahead.
Okay. I was going to say, my potential argument to that might be, is the one thing I noticed in the trailer is there's a lot of different looking places. Like, you see the area with the cocoons hanging down, and that looks like a lot different from where you see the zombies kind of like coming down, and like I think there was like a waterfallish kind of looking area, and then you have the actual bases itself. It just looks like there's a lot of different areas around the map.
Well, see, the map had me worried. That's why. Because if the map is in the trailer, I'm like,
oh, right.
That's what worried me. Right. But you actually just kind of put me back on the okay track, because you have the water looked like it was below one of the buildings. It looked like an A or B building. And then you have the next part there where it looked like the tubes were above there, or that was the comm room. And then you have another layer up top. And then you have a completely separate building, could possibly have another layer up there where you see that, like, gun that people kept saying, that anti-aircraft gun that Richtofen is reloading the Dingo up, and you see that ladder.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of rooms to explore. You're adding a lot of cool stuff. So
yeah, I just think there's so much stuff that it would be really hard to transition everything into a really small map, right? It kind of it needs a little bit of space to transition from water to base to spider egg cave, right? It's not just going to be like, you got the base, and then right beside this base there's just happens to be a spider egg cave. Like, you're not going to build a base next to a deathly spiders.
A deathly horde of spiders.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I wouldn't, but
So it's your big ear. So what's your actual biggest worry then, Pat?
What is my biggest worry? This is gonna sound so petty. I am worried.
Then, if that's your biggest worry,
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I think I'm very worried that the fear they're trying to add into this map is gonna be too, like, they're gonna go they go for it too much. And, like, the first couple times you play, it's great, and then it just gets kind of generic, and you're like, whatever, like, I can see it coming. Like, I kind of want it to be like what you said, Reed, where it's going to be sort of ambient, right? In the background, just kind of noises. Like, okay, Nocturne Totem is still the scariest map for me to this date. You hear zombies in the background. They're so, like, their grunts are so terrifying.
Loud, too.
And the fog, and you can see them kind of coming out of the fog. That is good, scary, like, zombies for me, right? Mm-hmm. I thought Mob of the Dead did a cool thing with the hanging bodies all around the map, because you don't actually see them, but just the idea that there's, like, hundreds of just dead bodies hanging, that was kind of creepy. Mm-hmm. So I think if they can do it not so in your face, but that's my biggest worry, is that they're going to make it so that It's just you expect it coming, and it just becomes like the
Almost like a
novelty
House of
wears off.
Horrors, where you're just like, oh my god, dude. All right.
Yeah, like Five
Yeah, I
Nights
feel
at
ya.
Freddy's, right? You play that, and
Yes,
it's scary,
exactly
and
that.
then and you're like, all right,
And then
whatever.
That's
you're
not-
just a guy like he's just focusing on all the screens, going back and forth. The jump scare happens unaffected. You just keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. That's a good point.
What about you, Matt? What's your worry?
My biggest worry. I guess the biggest worry for me is the same as every other map. I hope it's playable for more than, a couple months. Because to be honest with you, Shadows of Evil for me, there was one reason why I don't want to play it anymore, and it's the freaking rituals. I hate doing them. They take too long. It's too much of a pain.
Just the time.
Yeah. So, and I said that way early on. I was like, these things are annoying. That's gonna like 3 months from now, I'm gonna be like, I don't even want to touch this map because of that. So I hope there's something like that in the map that's just totally destroys it for the longevity of the map. But other than that, I don't think there's anything I'm too worried about.
Speaking of longevity, what do you guys think of Horizon Drop, though? How do you feel about that map?
I still enjoy it. I can go play it.
Yeah, I absolutely can still play it.
Like
That's the thing, though. We play these maps so much that
Right.
no matter what we do, just the nature of how much we play them is going to be like, it's going to get a little bit boring at some point, or a little bit tedious, a little bit repetitive, because you play hours and days and days and days
Oh
and
my
days.
God, so many.
But
I've gotten to the point
fact
where I've
that you
turned
can play
it.
that at all is, that's a good point.
Because like I've gotten to this point where I get so excited for zombies and I want to play zombies. I love next gen zombies. I'll turn on my game. I'll load up Horizon Drop, and then I'll quit out immediately. Like I can't commit 2 hours to this. I have stuff to do with my life. But I'm in there. I'm like, zombies. It's not Zetsubou no Shima. I need to go do something else with my life. And it's because I've played that map like crazy. Like I cannot believe how much I played it. And I coming off the high again. That's like, does it beat Derice World at War for me? Will anything ever beat that for me for that map? I don't know why.
Yeah.
I love it so much. I could play that map right now.
Yeah.
But again, I haven't played it in a while. So that's what I'm wondering.
I think the other thing with that, though, is that we weren't playing it as heavily in the very launch of it, right? It was more like a spread out thing. Like you've played the map, you loved it, you kept going back and playing it, but there wasn't like an Easter egg that you grinded 40 hours of your life into.
That's very true.
And just, tired yourself out with. And you weren't, I guess, I mean, maybe you were, but I know for Pat and I, we weren't grinding out these videos, It was just like we'd go play with friends, and they'd be addicting, we'd play again, like a couple times a day maybe for a couple weeks in a row. This is like you're playing it nonstop for several weeks. So it's just the nature of that makes it's hard to have a map be interesting and new and different when you're playing it so much.
That's an awesome perspective I have not heard on this favorite map idea for directors anyway. Pat, you look like you have something you want to say.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I saw it,
actually,
bro.
like, you guys have got me thinking here. The gears are turning. With Black Ops 2, actually, this is going back to, like, my biggest fear. With Black Ops 2, I had a bunch of these moments where I would play for, like, 2 or 3 days, get all the videos I needed to do, and then I'd very quickly, I would hit a point of, now what? With Transit, yeah. With Die Rise, like I played it and I was like, okay, now what? Even with Mob of the Dead, I kind of hit a point where it felt like I did everything because it wasn't like a super long Easter egg, and it was like, okay, now what? And I haven't felt that with Black Ops 3. It's very they've done a lot of things to add the replayability with even with Shadows of Evil. Although it did get tedious, I'd still play it. And we had the Giant with Horizon Drop. I mean, like double XP weekend coming up this weekend. I'm so excited to just grind and get some levels.
I am so done with grinding. I hit Master Zombie Prestige. I am fucking done. I don't care about the 1,000. I am just. How did Lex do that, Pat? What?
Dude.
I just don't.
One class a day at school. That's how we did it.
But no. But here, man, how do you stay?
Oh.
How do you keep with it? It's just like the hours you play.
It's
and he only
unbelievable.
had the Giant. He had the Giant in the Shadows of Evil. That's all he had when he got up there. It's like, Lex, is he all there still?
Dude, he did like 60 levels the other weekend. And we're not talking like level 1 levels. These are level 35. Like the last level you need when you're going that 1 to 1,000, every single level is like the last level to prestige. So it's like 50,000 XP
God.
every single time. And he did
So
60
much.
levels the last double XP weekend. He went from like,
Wow.
yeah, he went, I don't know. It was a lot.
Oh my
I
God.
think he did 106 on the Giant. But I was talking to him. He said he wants to back off because he thinks he's gonna burn himself out.
That's my biggest worry.
He thinks he's gonna burn out. Are you kidding? He thinks he might burn out. After all that, he may burn out at this point. That's it. I'm out.
Oh,
Matt has left the show. Well, John is here to jump in if we want to get him on.
are you kidding me? That's hilarious. We're
Yeah,
like
I'm
done.
gonna tell. Should he join on or no?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Like he can totally join, but just
He's
like
he's your host. I don't know.
Yeah.
Matt is actually just gone. Okay.
I love it. He's the commitment. He's hoping we end the show. It's not happening. John ruined this.
No.
Oh, it's great. He's gonna throw off all the screens though. Yeah. See if he gets.
Oh no! I'm not prepared for
Oh,
this.
Uh oh. What are you gonna do? The scramble. Oh my God! But I'm just so excited for zombies. My God.
Oh.
John.
John.
Oh,
John.
throwing Pat off. He's recording all the screens. I love how Matt.
Okay.
I see him peeking. I see Matt's shadow. Still
Did I break the show?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Pretty
It looked
much.
like Matt wanted.
Oh, my bad, guys.
Ride off into the sunset and all this. Where were you? What's going on, John?
Yeah.
How you doing?
I got my dates mixed up. I thought we were doing this tomorrow, so I was actually at the airport picking up my sister.
Oh,
Well,
snap.
that's way more important, to be honest with you.
My bad. I got home and I saw your message. Where are you? And I'm like, oh fuck, this was now.
Classic. So quickly, how do you feel about Zetsubou no Shima, spiders, Easter egg, and do you have a big word for the map?
No real big worries right now. I'm excited. That trailer was freaking sweet. I don't know. Nothing. I guess my biggest worry is just whether or not it'll be spooky, because I want it to be, but I'm not getting that vibe.
Yeah, we were talking about that, and I think ambience is going to be the end all for this map. If we're going to get those really, really creepy noises and stuff that comes up, that is what will make or break this map for being scary. Like even Shinonuma, like when you're just standing in Shinonuma, someone's running the zombie off, and you just hear like that high pitched like croaking and stuff in the background, or just the bug noises, and you're just like, oh my God. It gets you focused, and you're so focused on listening, like trying to make out, is that words? And then a zombie might come up to you and you'd be like, Jesus Christ. And then if you go near the comm room, you hear these weird voices again, and you're like, what's going on? You hear these whispers where you're just like, 115.
Yo.
What I'm very interested in is the room that has the pod. Oh, go on, Pat.
I was just gonna say, going off Reed's note. Do you remember on Verrucht, the whispering morgue?
Oh.
It's creepy.
Oh, do I?
Yeah. That's all I want to say.
Oh, it's fantastic. That shit was scary, especially like in the furnaces. That's what you're talking about as well, right? That area. It's the starting room, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, when you hear that, you're like, what am I playing? Where am I right now?
Did I bring extra pairs of underpants?
Verrucht is a scary map. You're just in a
it's
burning
horrifying.
forest. Like,
Yeah.
why is this forest on fire? Like, what happened here?
Dude,
And there's just
it's
zombies
so,
coming out of. I love that coming out of the mist. That's like my favorite thing.
Scariest part of it. Yeah.
No, but the best part has to be the writing on the wall, though. Like when
Yes,
you
yes,
enter some
exactly.
rooms and like you like somebody really messed up in the head. Somebody battling some real demons wrote that shit.
Right. So you have like psychotic stuff. Like it's awesome to see people lose their minds on these maps. It's an insane asylum. So hopefully we saw it. But even like subtle things before you continue, like in the corners, have you seen those things where you have like mannequins hanging themselves or having butcher knives in them? And it's like, dude, what the fuck is going on here?
Now you know the lamp that sways back and forth.
Yeah.
It's by Speed Cola,
Yeah.
right behind.
Oh yes,
Right
yes.
by
I
the
love
shotgun.
that lamp.
Oh,
Like it's so simple, but it's that perfect horror atmosphere and vibe. Like the creaking and it sways back and forth endlessly.
oh my! I love how nerdy we are, though. Like,
It's the
seriously.
little details that make it great.
Did you see
Yeah,
that
we're just
lamp
looking
the other
like,
day?
I love lamp.
It
Lamp.
sounds silly, but it builds to the atmosphere, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Mhm.
no, absolutely. And I think we've hit this 2 weeks in a row now that just like atmosphere is going to make it something special. Like
It might be 3 weeks in a row.
you're probably right, because next week we'll be like, oh my God, Zetsubou no Shima.
While we're talking about streaks, you know I have to bring up something.
Space Dog.
Oh, for Fuck.
Thank you, Johnny.
I'm done.
Thank you, Johnny.
I'm over
left.
this time
He
now.
left.
We can now complete the episode properly.
I think the podcast is over now.
Yeah, I think
That's
it.
it. That's the end for all BL right there.
So
I think
close.
that's what you call a wild card.
Wild card, bitch
Johnny
ass.
comes
Yes,
in and
yes, you got
instantly
the
knows that
reference.
Space Dog is needed, and Space Dog.
You make any Sunny reference, and I'll get that any day of the week.
This is starting to become a thing, Matt. Like, you really pushed momentum in Space Dog
Dude,
recently.
I'm hoping Space Dog catches on because
DLC 5, it's gonna be in there.
Dude,
Dude,
that's,
Am I-
Space Dog.
that's
DLC
You
gonna be
open
your
up
meme.
Rick Toffin's
That's gonna be
brain
your
using
meme.
the summoning key. There.
It is. It should be a meme.
Lex,
If you guys are watching
the
this-
minions.
Yes.
I've got corn, and you can have
Yes,
space dog.
this is so valid. I need the Space Dog is the thing now.
Yes.
Tweet me Space
dog.
Please tweet me your Space Dogs.
That's beautiful.
I'm excited,
You're gonna regret that when your Twitter blows up.
dude.
Yeah,
I
everyone
you know,
go tweet at Matt if
I
who's
can't
here.
feel bad about seeing Space Dog. I really can't. I just
No
love
one's
it.
gonna know. Half the people are gonna be like, "Oh, Space Dog." Type it in Google and be like, "I don't get it."
Dude,
And
look up
leave.
Space Dog, MC Sports Talk, or Space Dog Moon. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Yes. Oh my god. Dude, but did you see Rizzo's mod? I'm serious though. Like, I want his Space Dog
Space
mod.
Dog?
Yeah,
Yes,
you saw
dude.
that.
He's making my dreams come true.
I gotta have that someday.
Space
Like,
Dog, for
Oh.
real.
Oh, I can't wait.
Nah,
for
you'll
this.
be disappointed by the Google results for Space Dog.
No, you can't Google result. You got to either do zombies or Moon, something related to Call of Duty. You know.
I know, but straight up Space Dog gets you nothing good.
Dog.
Well, yeah, I know.
Actually, some of them are pretty adorable. Like there's a dog in space with a cigarette in his mouth.
you
and
pop that on
sunglasses
YouTube.
on.
YouTube Space
Whoa, I
Dog,
see that, John. That's pretty. That's
Call of
pretty.
Duty or
dope.
the Moon. Oh,
Space dog.
Do you
What
see the
about-
one with the bone?
happened
Like
when
he
Space
just
Dog
can
comes out?
barely reach it.
Yeah,
Space Dog.
that's-
Like
that's
the
It's
little
like
fine.
the whole
addicting. You
podcast.
cannot stop him at
Okay.
all.
Too much
Reed,
space
if
dog.
the whole zombies podcast doesn't work out, can we do a dog podcast?
Yes, we'll just call it Space Dog with the boys.
By the fireside.
Space
always a
dog
good
FTD
dog.
for the boys.
Man's best friend, also in space.
That might be onto something.
Episode
All right.
100 space.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was SmithSquad Podcast, episode 88. Or no, that was Zombroz Podcast, episode 38.
Yes.
There you go.
And that concludes SmithSquad Podcast number 88. Thank you guys for watching.
If you guys want to check out everybody else, make sure to check them in the links in the cards. They'll all be linked there. Even John will get showed up in this show. Lucky John.
Yay!
Yeah.
Thank you guys so
I
much
made
for
it. I
watching.
made it in time.
You know, John, for all the shit I've given you lately for trying to unsub, I have to say that you're worthy this time for coming in and shouting out Space Dog. So,
He's just saved
anything for
man.
you, man. I'm just trying to
Thank you.
rebuild
Face.
bridges.
Save
You know
his
what?
face.
There was-
You gained back a small ounce of respect today, so congrats.
I'm glad I did that.
Well, we will see you guys next week. I cannot wait for Zetsubou and Shima. Make sure to check out all of our live streams, probably 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for everybody but John. He's late for John. But for
Don't
us,
look at my live stream. I'll
Oh,
be sleeping. I ain't
we're going to
about
have
that
so
life.
much fun. New zombies.
Grinding.
What a time to be alive.
Boom.
See
What a
you.
masterpiece. The Smith Squad Zombroz merger. There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye.
I should have recorded